r/rules horror. Posted by u/Crimson Wanderer 0. Victoria's Hotel, Employee Guide. Greetings and thank you for joining the team at Victoria's Hotel. Please take the time to familiarize yourself with these rules and guidelines that have been provided to you for your safety. Should you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Refer to the section of the book that outlines the regulations relevant to your job. All staff at Victoria's Hotel will receive breaks periodically throughout the day at predefined intervals that have been set by Victoria herself. Please refer to the pre-established break times: 6 o'clock to 6:30, 7:45 to 8 o'clock, 9:15 to 9:25, and 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Additionally, you may ask the dark figure in the corner who is dressed as a Starbucks barista for any sustenance and refreshments during their last 2 scheduled breaks. However, if it is not dressed up as a Starbucks barista, ignore it. No need to worry, as friendly entities that look identical to humans will be available to take your place during any break periods. You can try to quit, but only if you manage to survive a trial. If you wish to try it, head to floor 12 and look for a door that seems out of place. Rule 0. Floor 0 is off limits for everybody and only VASD members can enter. Can't have another catastrophe occurring again. Rule 1. Your shift starts at 5:05 p.m. and lasts until 12 a.m. If you are more than 10 minutes late to work, just don't even arrive at the hotel at all. If, by chance, you happen to be at the hotel late by 10 minutes, simply drive away and don't leave home for the day. Rule 2. As a staff member at Victoria's Hotel, you are expected to show respect and kindness to all guests. You wouldn't want to make the wrong ones angry, would you? Rule 3. If any guest asks you about the location of the ballroom during their visit, politely inform them that the hotel currently doesn't have any ballrooms at the moment and that we plan on building one in the future. Rule 4. Avoid Lily at all costs. Rule 5. It is important to show kindness and respect to the bellhops, as they are essential for your safety and security during your shift. Developing a good relationship with the bellhop is important, as they are one of the only safeguards you have in case you violate a rule. Rule 6. If a person wearing red comes up to the front desk, please give them the key for room 666. Not doing so could lead to you being taken to the underworld, which we don't want to happen like it did to Gary, do we? Rule 7. If for any reason while in the lobby the music stops playing, warn the guests and immediately get to the freezer. You have 15 seconds to do so, and do not open the door for any reason, no matter what you hear on the other side. Rule 8. In the event that all of the lights in the lobby go red, tell all the guests that there is nothing to worry about and continue what you were doing beforehand. Rule 9. If you see some super tall, dark people with bright white eyes coming through the door, don't even think about trying to engage them. Alert security right away. If one of them gets to you, they will absorb you, and you'll become part of them. Rule 10. If you see a child entering the hotel, observe the color of their outfit. Refer to the below list of instructions based on their attire. Note that it's 50-50 for a boy or a girl. Yellow dress with flowers, don't stress, it's just Daisy. She's super nice and she's got your back. However, if you attack her in any way, you're fucked. Yellow. It is important that you remain vigilant to these children in order to guarantee their safety at all times. It is well known that these children are potential targets of the entities that inhabit the hotel, so it is critical to take their security seriously and make sure they do not end up in the hands of the entities lurking. Therefore, stay alert and make sure these children are safe, as you are unaware of the power of their mother. Red. If you ever see a kid wearing red show up at the entrance, you've got to act fast. Get out there and let other people know what's happening, then get management and security on the scene. And if they catch you, you die, obviously. Blue. Do not be concerned if you notice the presence of these children in the hotel, as they typically come here to seek spiritual advice and tranquility. They are known for their calming aura and peaceful vibes, which can be helpful in relieving stress for all people staying in the hotel and working there. Green. They like helping employees around the hotel. They're extremely kind. A little too kind if you ask me. Black. Grab a bat and start smacking them. They're pretty strong, so don't let them overpower you and gang up on you. White. Gather your coworkers and flee the area as quickly as you can. They move quite quickly. When they get their hands on you, they will rip you apart, as they are too strong for you to overcome them. It took a week to clean up the blood and guts left over from the incident 27 years ago. Daisy will deal with them if you're lucky and she's nearby. Otherwise, I'll handle them. Rule 11. Please be respectful to the cooks who make the cuisine for the guests. It's unpleasant to feel everything while being eaten. Rule 12. If you ever spot a woman wearing a large black dress from the Victorian era and a large Edwardian hat, evacuate the area immediately to the safety room on the 12th floor. She's here. Rule 13. We don't have a 13th floor. Rule 14. If you happen to come across a mysterious red luggage left abandoned somewhere around the hotel, we advise that you stay away from it, as whatever is within that baggage is not meant to be handled by the general public, and should only be handled by designated security personnel. For the safety of yourself and others, it is important that you do not interact with or tamper with this baggage in any way. Instead, you should notify management or security immediately and allow them to investigate and handle the situation accordingly. Rule 15. Should the phone on the front desk ever get a call from the phone number 416-710-202-000, answer it. If you say anything else other than what you were told to say in the rules, would either A, be flung across the lobby, which could result in injury, or B, have a valued possession, which is usually a phone if you have one, just suddenly disappear from you. Or you get assaulted by a group of entities, but they won't kill you, they just leave you with a bunch of cuts, bruises, or broken bones. Severity depends on what you just said. Rule 15A. If you are asked, "Do you know where the arcade machine is?" tell them that it's at our lobby and that they can come pick it up. Rule 15B. If you are asked, "Do you want to make a deal?" simply hang up. Saying anything after that is the equivalent of saying yes to the deal and you basically belong to it now. Rule 15C. Should you hear croaking, just destroy the phone immediately. "Hey, Vanessa, take a look at this," you said, as Vanessa glanced up at you. "Come here, check this out," you said, and she walked over to you. You handed her the book, and both of you started laughing almost immediately. Just then, the door opened and you both looked up to see a woman with brown hair, violet eyes, and wearing a black suit, white shirt, and a skirt. "Hi there. I'm Victoria, the owner of this hotel, and I'm assuming you two must be the new security guards, right?" Rule 1. Pistols are to be considered ineffective and obsolete when attempting to neutralize and defend yourself against entities, as attempting to engage an entity with just a pistol has only resulted in the death or injury of the security personnel that engaged. Rule 2. It is imperative that you keep your personal ID on you at all times, as you may be required to present it as a means to confirm your human identity and to ensure that you aren't being used as a puppet or manipulated by any of the entities. In addition, staff on duty should report any suspicious behavior to a higher-up to be dealt with accordingly. Rule 3. Security personnel are required to have a flashlight equipped on them at all times in order to be prepared in case of a blackout or if Rule 6A from the guest guide comes into effect. Carrying a flashlight allows you to navigate various areas within the hotel, including dimly lit corridors, stairwells, and secluded areas, and also allows you to avoid ambushes by entities. Rule 4. When you arrive for your shift, you have 15 minutes to prepare for your shift before it begins. Rule 4.1. If you are looking for your uniform, please be aware that extras are available in the security rooms on floor 1. We do not recommend using the security rooms on other floors because employees have reported strange noises. Rule 5. At around 11:30, don't forget to remind any guests that they should be in their rooms before 12:00 a.m. Also, if anybody is sleeping outside their room during the time, wake them up and instruct them to go to their room if they want to sleep, and escort them if needed. Rule 6. On random occasions, you may notice a strange cat staring at you creepily. If you do, go on your radio and say, "The cat's out of the bag." VASD members will know what to do. Do not approach it. Note, this cat seems to darker than normal for some strange reason. Rule 7. On random occasions, we may randomly assign you to work in the security office. It's located somewhere in the employees-only section of the hotel, which can be accessed from the door behind the front desk. The entrance is a large double door with a sign on the right saying Security Office. Rule 8. While working in the security office, it's most likely that you've been assigned the task of monitoring the cameras. Please adhere to Rules 8.1 to 8.4. Rule 8.1. While monitoring camera 2B on floor 1, if you ever see a child with hollow eyes who is wearing yellow and staring at the camera up close, you have 5 seconds to look away from the camera before it shows you what's really behind its eyes. Rule 8.2. If you see a guest repeatedly pressing the buttons on the elevator for no reason in a specific order, they're most definitely playing the elevator game, and you shouldn't try stopping them for any reason whatsoever. Rule 8.3. If you ever see monstrous figures that seem to be transparent staring at the camera, click on the shock button on the middle right. Don't worry, this won't blind or hurt any guests, they won't even feel or see it at all. Rule 8.4. If the camera ever starts to glitch like crazy for no reason and distorted messages start appearing all over the screen, just hit the shutdown button, and everything should return to normal when you put it back on. Rule 8.5, on camera 2A on floor 4, you may see a figure just sprinting down the hallway. If you do, you and your colleagues in the security room also have 7 seconds to lock it with the pad right next to it. Just swipe the status to lock. Rule 8.6, failure to follow these rules could result in the entity IEs materializing into reality for a brief period of time to cause harm. Rule 9. If you ever see a random balloon floating through the hallways, immediately go on the radio provided to you and say, "Is this where the party's at?" VASD members will know what to do. Those party things want you to join their party, but you're the entertainment. Rule 10. When working in the security office, instead of being appointed to monitor the cameras, you may have been appointed to the job of using the intercoms. If so, please adhere to Rules 10.1 to 10.8. Rule 10.1. It is important that you remind any guests of what not to do during their stay and to remind guests of any dangers that have not been explicitly stated in the guest rule guide. Rule 10.2. If the lights in the hotel turn yellow, that means that there is a significantly dangerous entity that has appeared somewhere in the hotel. Please remind guests that they can still wander around the hotel but to tread carefully to avoid the entity. Rule 10.3. If the lights turn orange, it means that a significantly more dangerous creature has spawned within the hotel, and that means you should tell guests to hide within a room that can be locked. Barricades don't work. And this is because in around 10 minutes or so said creature will scour the hotel looking for anything that's human in any sort of way. Rule 10.4. If the lights in the hotel go red, that means everything is safe. Just tell the guests to stay in their rooms and don't go inside the security office, don't go in the cafeteria. Rule 10.5. In the event that the lights of the hotel suddenly turn a maroon red, it is important that you go on the intercoms and announce that all guests, including you and your colleagues, should flee to the designated emergency safety room on floor 12. This is because an entity from floor 0 has breached and made its way to the main floors. Rule 10.6. If the lights in the hotel turn violet with the scent of lavender perfume being indicant, it is important that you go on the intercoms and tell all the guests, including employees, that they have to evacuate the hotel. Don't worry, they won't be sent to the void, they can ignore Rule 1 from the guest guide. And if you don't, the last thing you'll see is true beauty. Rule 10.7. Should the lights in the hotel go from the usual color to purple and azure and there are small luminous dots resembling stars, you have 5 minutes to warn guests that they have to evacuate the hotel, so you can push or shove anyone. Just do anything you can to leave the hotel before then, because sooner or later a supernatural being will manifest into the hotel's reality, but don't worry, the blue light entity will deal with it. When the entity has been dealt with, proceed in the hotel carefully, as you can fall through reality through the holes that have been made in it. Don't worry, reality will fix itself in around 6 to 7 minutes. Rule 10.8. On very rare occasions, the lights in the hotel will go completely pitch black for about 5 seconds, and when the lights go back on, the entire hotel will be filled with party decor. This list includes vibrant and colorful balloons, birthday-themed signs and banners, party hats and birthday cakes, streamers and confetti all over the floor, piñatas, and food and drink stations offering a vast selection of food and beverage options. If this happens, this is not a party time and your life is in danger from the things we call the jovial specters. You are to warn the guests that this is not a time to party and the hotel will soon become infested with them. Rule 10.8.1. Do not try to hide in your rooms or try to leave the hotel, as they have become portals that will bring you directly to their domain. And let's just say you're not coming back out alive. Or human at least. Rule 10.8.2. We don't recommend mindlessly eating the cakes you find around the hotel. They are either normal cakes, which are very delicious, or human cakes, which aren't really a problem if you don't mind cannibalism. Last but not least, we have what seems to be cakes, but they aren't cakes in any sort of way, and you'll just meet up with an agonizing demise. Rule 10.8.3. If you see directions on the walls telling you to go on a certain path, do it, as it will lead you to completely safe areas. Rule 10.8.4. If you ever hear someone laughing, it indicates that one of the more dangerous ones is around, and getting discovered would result in immediate death. Rule 11. If any guests report to you or you see a lady that appears to be in her 20s wearing a navy blue Victorian era coat and a navy blue small Edwardian holding an umbrella and they appear to be lost, approach them and tell them to go to room 444 to return. Mary must have gotten lost again and ended up in the wrong hotel somehow, as always. Rule 1. Our cleaning supply rooms are only available on floor 1 because of a certain entity that, for some reason, lives in all of them above floor 1 and will disembowel anyone that enters. We're still trying to kill it. Rule 2. When in the supply rooms, it's best not to look away from the shelves like to rearrange themselves randomly sometimes for no reason, making your job even harder but not necessarily dangerous. Rule 3. Please apply the lavender lotion on any exposed body parts, as there's this entity going around that has a hatred for janitors specifically for some odd reason, and the lotion acts as a force field. You can take it home if you'd like, as it smells really good and works well with skin care. Rule 4. When mopping, it is important that you watch out for these gray puddles, as they have the ability to engulf anything that steps into them, never to be seen again. If you see one of these, mop them up quickly and efficiently. Rule 5. Should you see a hallway that seems to stretch on infinitely with someone beckoning you to come clean it, do not go down that hallway. Instead, just put a caution sign and leave, as you will be trapped until you die. Rule 6. Use the Mystic Bubbles bottle of soap that was given to you to spray out any black sludge that you see on the walls. This keeps an entity from spreading to the point where it could eventually manifest within the hotel. Rule 7. When cleaning our art gallery, please adhere to Rules 7.1 to 7.3. Rule 7.1. When cleaning the gallery, please don't look at the marble statues, otherwise, they'll have to make you not look at them. Rule 7.2. Please don't mind the gigantic marble statue of an angel at the far end of the gallery, unless it's staring at you. If it is, get on your knees and pray. But not for a quick beef. I'm not a monster, it should only let you 3 minutes of your time. Rule 7.3. Should the painting of the owner of the hotel, me, be missing for some reason, just leave and don't come back. You have the week off. That should be all. If there is more info on your role, you will mail it after your first few shifts.